Hey there, foodies! Welcome back for another week's episode here at Foodie Legends, your go-to resource to discover places and best eats as we dive into the history of your favorite foods. Today, we're featuring the most renowned foods in the coastal state of Connecticut. Connecticut is a U.S. state in southern New England that has a mix of coastal states and rural areas dotted with small towns. Famed for its seaport museum filled with century-old ships and the beluga whale exhibits at the Mystic Aquarium. The city of New Haven is known as the home of Yale University and its acclaimed Peabody Museum of Natural History. The state-recognized sovereign nations and tribes in Connecticut are the Eastern Pequot, Golden Hill Powgasset, and Shattuck tribes, with the Mashantucket Pequot and Mohegan tribes having federal recognition as well. Connecticut is home to many famous entertainers and actors such as Meg Ryan, Seth MacFarlane.
Sorry to interrupt, Seth MacFarlane.
Holy crap, it's the mouse from Sing!
Christopher Lloyd, Katherine Heigl, and Richard Belzer.
There he goes again.
Well, let us start our Connecticut food adventure.
I'm ready! I'm ready! I'm ready! I'm ready! I'm ready!
Pizza is so central to Connecticut's culture and life that many in the state believe it was invented here, when in fact, pizza was first made in Naples, Italy. New Haven-style pizza is a style of thin-crust, coal-fired Neapolitan-style pizza common in and around New Haven, Connecticut. They love pizza here so much that they call it a tad bit different, a pizza.
Pineapple and olive? Sweet and salty.
The name of pizza came from the Neapolitan immigrants who first brought pizza to the region. It's one of the many ways that New Haven-style pizza stays close to its original recipes, along with the chewy crust, minimalistic tomato sauce, and lighter touch of cheese.
Nothing seems to fit those.
Coming in at food number 2 is the Southern Slaw hot dogs. The Southern Slaw dog is topped with coleslaw and chili, a combination that works well but is unusual and a bit messy, I may say. The chili here is made Connecticut style, meaning it has a ground beef, no beans, and is not spicy, but contains more meat sauce that adds flavor. Just a few minutes on the grill for the hot dogs, and you have a filling meal that anyone will love. The soft and messy hot dogs that's served in a sturdy paper boat or styrofoam containers are found primarily in Connecticut, but also elsewhere in the Northeast. Southern Slaw dogs are totally suitable for any occasion and are especially popular for the 4th of July.
It's amazing. Oh.
Coming in at number 3 are grinders. If a New Englander doesn't call this sandwich a sub, well, they'll call it a grinder. A popular in Western Massachusetts, Vermont, and parts of Connecticut and Rhode Island, the roll is sliced halfway and filled with rich amounts of olive oil, sliced ham, turkey, salami, provolone cheese, tomatoes, and lettuce. The lettuce should always be shredded for a real New Englander-style grinder, while the tomatoes and onions should be sliced paper thin. The big sandwich itself was invented by an Italian shopkeeper named Benedetto Capaldo in New London, but was originally known as a grinder.
Okay.
Once, there was an order of 500 sandwiches a day from Capaldo to feed his workers, and since then, the sandwich became a hit and soon larger demands for the sandwich happened.
Holy shrimps! I don't know where to start.
Coming in at food number 4 are apple cider donuts. Baked and delicious apple cider donuts are made with apple cider reduction to intensify its flavor.
To go even further beyond!
Warm and dipped in cinnamon, sugar, and apple pie slices, this fall treat has earned its place in many sweet lovers' list of favorites. The donuts are infused with a touch of apple cider to give them a subtle apple flavor. The donut recipe includes a reduction of the apple cider to turn it into a syrup of concentrated apple molasses that gives the donuts a kick. All across New England, the first whiffs of crisp autumn breeze are in the air. The scent of freshly baked apple cider donuts at the farm stands, orchards, and adorable roadside markets spread out all across all 6 states.
I can say confidently that that is quite possibly the best lobster roll I've ever experienced, and I've had hundreds, if not thousands.
Coming in at food number 5 are the warm lobster rolls. A classic meal here in New England is the lobster roll. Here in Connecticut, their version of the lobster roll is all about simplicity. In the East, most restaurants dress their lobster salad with a mayonnaise base. However, the Connecticut style skips the extras and simply serves the lobster with fresh warm lobster meat and a tad of butter on top of a grilled hot dog roll.
Damn!
Back in the day, the lobster was in fact considered a cheap food variety due to the fact that they grew abundantly at the sea floor, scavenging off what foods fell to the bottom. However, fast forward to modern cuisine, we now know lobster as an expensive delicacy often served at high-end restaurants.
As a 5-star restaurant.
It wasn't until the 1880s that diners began to crave lobster at an insane level. It was during this time that the tasty crustacean went from one of the cheapest proteins to the plates of the wealthy.
I'm rich.
What's the password? New England clam chowder.
Coming in at food number 6 is the Connecticut clear broth clam chowder. New England clam chowder is the most well-known and popular style of clam chowder in the East. In most of the literature, food historians believe that the French or Nova Scotian settlers introduced the soup to the area when they migrated to the Americas. However, each state, including Manhattan, Rhode Island, and Connecticut, all have their own versions of the soup, all based on the preferences of the locals. Here in Connecticut, there is a clear broth version that is different from the popular New England cream-based style. When it comes to clam chowder, the name of the game is the briny taste that comes from boiling down the fresh clams. In the clear broth clam chowder, the absence of the cream is meant to highlight the fresh seafood flavor in its more basic form, allowing the palate to experience the broth without the fattiness from the New England style cream, giving it that punch of brininess that the Connecticut locals love.
Why, it tastes so good.
Last but not least, food number 7 are steamed cheeseburgers. Most burgers dry out if you cook them beyond medium rare. Steamed burgers are incredibly juicy and moist even when cooking to medium well. The epicenter of the steamed cheeseburger is Meriden, Connecticut, and the recipe has been traced back to the 1900s when it was simply steamed cheese on a roll served from a horse-drawn food cart. When a beef patty was added later, the steamed cheeseburger was born. It is believed to have been invented at a restaurant called Jack's Lunch in Middletown, Connecticut, and up to this day is still a local specialty.
That's my specialty.
Thanks again for tuning in here with us at Foodie Legends. I hope you enjoyed this video and got a taste of the great foods that the East has to offer. Be sure to like this video and subscribe for more delicious content every week. See you guys in the next one.